when we walk through this, we walk through these issues and people go, oh, this is really not that big of a deal. It's not that alarming. What they're not understanding, when Steve Bannon and his minions out here are saying this crazy stuff, when they're talking about what they want to take over, they're serious. They are running people for secretaries of state.
Absolutely.
For election supervisors. They are desperately trying to overturn elections. And the thing I keep trying to tell all these black people, they're not hiding it. This is not overt. No, this is not covert. It's very overt. They're saying, if we win, Trump's going to win. They're saying it.
Yep. And they're letting you know what's going to happen. They say they're going to impeach Biden. They say they're going to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act. But you talk about Stephen K. Bannon. Bannon said some months ago on his podcast that the way to political power in America today is through the local school boards. And if you study what's happened with the local school boards and the fights over banning books, the fights over critical race theory. This is funded by dark money. This is funded by, and they've organized numerous organizations. There was an expose by NBC News, and they estimated about 165 right-wing parent organizations across the country, have been funded, and they get help from Fox News and politicized by Fox News. And they're using this to go from the grassroots up to the federal government and and focus on local offices, local politicians, local political offices from the grassroots up. We look at what's going on in Florida. I cannot stress this enough. I know, Roland, when you were interviewing Desmond Meade, and shout out to that brother, you were saying that this doesn't make sense or something like this. It makes perfect sense when you understand the history of Florida. Florida was the first state to have poll taxes in 1889, before Mississippi had poll taxes. Florida instituted its felony disenfranchisement law in 1868, 2 years before the 15th Amendment was adopted. And when you go research the history of Florida, they did this. They instituted felony disenfranchisement laws in a state that had a 48% black population. Almost half of the state of Florida, after slavery ended, was African-American, and they knew that if they did not put laws in place, these black people would vote and take over the state legislature. Yep. So this makes perfect sense. What we have to understand is that this may be our last free and fair election here in 2022.
That's real.
This people don't understand how dangerous this stuff is. These people are playing for keeps.
Indeed. All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Welcome to Atlanta, one of the most expensive housing markets in America. But rather than help out, Brian Kemp cashed in. He made hundreds of thousands of dollars in real estate. His net worth skyrocketed. And while Atlantans struggled to stay in their homes, Kemp gave $10,000 tax handouts to the richest Georgians and a nearly $700 million no-bid contract to his campaign donor. Brian Kickback Kemp, making Georgia work for him, not you.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punches!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?